Hello everyone, I'm ESV.iakona and this is my Minds video log. It's a pretty big day today. The Thrall patch just came out earlier today, as well as the launch of closed beta. So there's quite a lot of changes in this patch. I just want to spend some time to go over my thoughts and analysis. I've played for a couple hours now, read over the patch notes. In addition to what's in the patch notes, there's also some undocumented changes, or even some of the changes are kind of wrong, and I just wanted to go over them all. I wanted to first start out with talents. There's a few of them that actually got changed. Resurgence, the biggest one, is just gone from the game. What that might actually affect, though, is there's quite a few of the tanks, the warrior class that Resurgence was a staple for, only really had 3 talents at level 20, 2 of those being upgrading their heroics, so some of the people are just kind of like screwed. They either take like Fury of the Storm or they upgrade their ults. They don't have too much variety. Chen and Stitches, though, have Blink, which is probably going to be a pretty common talent that'll go for, but some of the blinkless, like Arthas doesn't have Blink. He has Fury of the Storm, where you can get like extra ghouls, which I think people are gonna go the ghouls. So yeah, it's kind of some changes there. Mule also got reworked, so that it's a lot easier to understand what all it's gonna heal, because they changed the priority, so it actually goes for the the forts, then the towers, then the walls, no, then the gates and the healing well, and then the walls. And also, like, whatever you put it next to, it will heal. Basically, if you put it next to a fort, it will heal a fort, not go over to a random tower or a gate. So, it's a nice fix there. It makes it a lot simpler and easier for newer players to kind of pick up and use. They also changed Healing Ward, which is one of the undocumented changes. In the last patch, they basically made it so any damage in the circle, like any AoE or skill shots or whatever, just kill off the Healing Ward, but it's now back to what I believe was the old version, where it's a lot harder to kill. Only auto attacks can kill it. And before, it was Strafe, Tyrael's Sword, Ice Cube, I forget what it's called, and Asmoden's Beach Ball. Those Globe of Annihilation, I think it's called. Those 3 skills were the only ones I found originally that could actually destroy it. I believe it's back to there, or they might have taken that out and only made auto attacks, but it's actually pretty strong. Or it's back to being what it was before, which is pretty strong. And you'll see it a lot more, and even like Rhaegar might start coming back into the meta since he kind of fell off. It'll also be pretty good against like Nazeebo, who's pretty common now. Heroes, Chen's ult's now interruptible, so it's not really a thing you can use at the last minute. If you save a stun, you can kind of kill him before you can get it off. So he's got to pop it a little bit earlier. Muradin's health regen was actually fixed in this patch. He had like an extra 18 starting or 20 starting health regen, so they got rid of that, and he's now back to a normal one. So he might fall off a little bit, but he's still going to be played somewhat, with Nazeebo being popular, since Avatar just instantly wrecks that. There's another stealth change that happened. Stitch's Gorge damage just got doubled. His scaling got doubled from 25 to 50 per level, so at level 10 you're doing 600 or 700 with the Gorge, and you can do 2000 at level 20, so it's pretty ridiculous that that change is going to make him very popular now, even more so than he was before. There's also, I think, Muradin also might have gotten an Avatar health bug. I think there might have been there, but going into the now, there's also 3 heroes that got reworked: Abathur, Falstad, and Lily. Lily, I'll go over to start with. I'm a support player, so I kind of know that. So on the surface, it looks like she got a buff overall, but she also got some things changed, like the Water Dragon. It says it's a buff, but it's actually a really huge nerf. They took the damage from 260 to they halved the damage that Water Dragon did this patch, which no one really went Water Dragon, but it just made it even less valuable. And by retrospect, they buffed Jugs, so it does less starting heal, but it has better scaling, so it nets out to actually be buffing the Jugs, which is kind of good because they nerfed some of her other damage. I mean, some of her other heals, like the new what's it called? The new 2-for-1's not too bad. I kind of like the extra mana cost rather than the extra cooldown, but the good stuff, though, is kind of they give you 5% extra heal, but it's over time, so it's not really quite the same damage. So I think that's kind of also like a nerf there. And they also took away the level 7 talent like Bringer Gifts. So they kind of took away her heals a little bit, and it seems like they shifted it more towards her ultimate, which is good, but it's still easily interruptible, so you got to be careful about that. They also changed up how her blinding winds works, which is kind of good because it was completely useless before, and it might actually see some play. They gave her a decent level 13 talent that's kind of got a gathering power like effect, which I haven't experimented with it too much, but it's actually a viable level 13 talent versus always going shrink ray, so that might actually see some play. So overall, I think she got a... I think she kind of stayed sort of near the same. Like, she got some nerfs and some buffs. I think she's relatively going to be the same. And she has Healing Ward, and with that becoming more... I think she's not really going to be played either way. I'm going to want to play her, though, but I don't think she's going to see too much more play. Falstad, they reworked him, gave him new ultimate, and they also reworked his Thunder, his like Lightning, his W. The new ultimate, I think it has some plays for disengaging, or also for, like, I don't know, maybe some sick plays of flying behind them and pushing the enemy team there, or just splitting them off. I think it has some use, but they took away his rewind, which took away some of his damage off of there. So I think Falstad got a slight nerf, but it'll be interesting to see how his new W, if it is better or worse with his damage. But right now I'm leaning towards he got a slight nerf and might not be as... Like, he's still going to be picked, but I think he got that. Abathur, they gave him a second ultimate, which is good because they just nerfed Ultimate Evolution, where they made it so you can't even use Heroics anymore, which kind of took away, like, part of its power. Now, you're probably not going to see Ultimate Evolution that much at all. You're going to see his second ult. And they changed a lot of his talents, like swapped all these levels and stuff around. It's kind of hard to tell without shaping up. I think he got... I'm going to go with he got a buff, but it could go either way. There's a lot of changes, and it's hard to tell this early on to see how it all shape up. Going into some other changes, Haunted Mines, they actually fixed the Grave Golem bug, where it would just, like, 80% health you with the Slam or 60% health you with the Root. So that's good. It's going to go back to normal damage. And last but not least, there's ranked play, in a way. There's Hero League, what they call it, which is basically just like normal queue. You can go with 1 to 5 people, and it's ranked now, so you get like you get numbers from 1 to 50. There's no like stars or anything like that in Hearthstone. It'll be interesting to see how often they reset that, because if it's like monthly like Hearthstone, it's gonna be ridiculous grind to get all the way up there. But it's nice to have that with the like as a more competitive mode, so you can get some better practice out of there. But I think ranked, like draft mode, like the drafting part of it has some to be desired, where first of all there's no bans, which kind of sucks, but they're not there. But what's bigger though is the drafting order. It's a snake draft like normal, but there's no swapping. So like if I queue up as even if I queue up as my team, like 5 people, and we go, there's like, it's hard if people specialize. Like I play supports, so you can't really pick me a support first round and then trade it to me later. So basically wherever I end up, since it's random besides the party leader's first, the other remaining members are random if you're in a 5-man. So if I'm last, then that's when we're picking support. If I'm first, that's when we're picking support. So it kind of sucks for that aspect. Ranked team mode though, hero mode, I don't know, hero draft or hero, whatever they call it, but I think they might implement swapping, or I hope they do. They change that around a little bit, because I think that right now it heavily favors flex players, but it also it can completely screw you over in draft, or completely win you the draft just based on where your players are. And that's kind of all I got for today. I'm going to be playing it some more, and maybe I'll put a second one out when I've got some more thoughts and be able to play it in competitive mode and like get a better feel for it. But that's just kind of my initial thoughts on the patch. Thank you for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you guys next time.